This is on the Republican health care bill. For the Senate vote, it would reduce the deficit, according to the CBO, the Congressional Budget Office, would reduce the deficit $321 billion over the next 10 years, but leave 22 million fewer Americans without health insurance by 2026. This, again, according to the CBO. Should Obamacare be repealed, Guru? How does the finance guru see it? Is health care a right?
I think right now, King, it's pretty clear that they don't have enough Republican senators to get this thing passed. That's why we're not going to have that vote, I don't think, before 4th of July. And I also don't disagree with you to say, hey, listen, nobody goes home for any vacation. Keep working until you get this ironed out. So clearly, this whole thing is about the votes. They don't have them, and it's not going to be put up for a vote until they do. So I think that's where we are right now. Now, as far as the CBO goes and their projection of actually reducing the deficit by $321 billion, but it's gonna leave 22 or 23 million Americans without health insurance. Maybe they are right, but I don't necessarily think that we can just turn around and rely on what the CBO says to be fact. Their projections have been off in the past. As we know, we saw what their projections were initially related to Obamacare, and we see where we are now. So, to me, although they're supposed to be independent, King, they really end up just being a political tool, because if they come out with something that supports your position, then you go with them. I don't really put a lot of credence in what they say. But as far as Obamacare goes, I have said this for a long time. This is all about basic math. And in theory, this may not be popular to say, but I want to emphasize this. In theory, Obamacare is not a bad thing, because what it says is that everyone gets health care. Okay, well, that's a good thing. And everybody has to pay in order to get health care. Well, that makes sense as well. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. The numbers don't add up. That's the problem. And you can't have a system, King, where you're going to cover everyone, but not everyone pays in. You can't have a situation where, for example, you go out and buy life insurance when you find out you're terminally ill. So you have to be in the system and paying in while you're healthy for that day that comes where you do get sick. So this issue that everybody's talking about, which is important in pre-existing conditions, that's really, that sick pool that they talk about, that's really where the problem lies. So it's easy to say that Obamacare is not working and something has to be done. But the real question is, how do you fix this mess? That's the issue. And nobody really has had the answer. Now, repealing without replacement, I don't think is a good idea, King. I think that's a very, very bad plan. I think it's irresponsible not to at least make the effort to try to put something in place. So what we're really seeing now from the Republicans is that it's really easy to be against something and to point out what's wrong, not so easy to fix it. Now, I do think that there's going to be a bill on health care that goes to the president. It's not going to be before 4th of July, but I think that we're going to see it. And as far as your last point here, King, is health care a right? Now, that's a tough one because it comes with a price, but I think access to health care really should be. No one should die or go broke because they don't have insurance, but, there's a cost to this. So it really comes down to, what do we want to give up in the budget in order to make sure everyone has health care, access to health care? And nobody seems to want to give up anything, and you can't just drop this cost on top. It just doesn't work. So I think that's where we are.